everyone, and welcome to the Elis and John and Crosby and Gamble show.
Yay!
I hope you're all absolutely brilliant, and apologies for the slight delay in accessing the website. Certain instructions were emailed out about joining early at 7:30 to avoid that, but don't worry, you're chilled out surfer dudes. You're not necessarily willing to go by what the man says, and based on some of the current messaging coming out of number 10, I could agree with you.
Can I just say, John, I think it's probably our audience joining a little late because we've got the sort of whacked out druggy guys, and you've got the dweebs. We're probably there at maybe 6:15 p.m, I'd say.
It's interesting that you get all the whacked out druggy guys when your show starts at 3 a.m.
Yeah, because they're still up from the night before on big drugs.
They're speed freaks. A lot of our audience. They're mainlining amphetamines into the wee small hours, and then tuning into the radio.
They've all got teeth like Shane McGowan, just two big fangs and big gaps.
Yeah.
I don't want to criticise you, but I don't think Izzy's on board the Gamble and Crosby vibe train.
Well, I don't like Peep Show, so fuck it.
Because I just saw her, and I said, "Oh, we're going up in 5 minutes," and she said, "Oh, with Ed and Matthew, what is their show called? Crumble and Custard."
It is now.
That's much better.
Completely happy to call it Crumble and Custard.
Sounds like a very fun show, does it? All Crumble and Custard.
So just to talk you all through what's going to happen tonight. First off, I'll be obviously giving a guided tour of the two Queen shelves that I've got behind me. Some of the items are bought, some of them handmade by me in DT in 1996. And we're also going to be playing, we're going to be mixing up a little bit of the old Radio X show of Elis and I's and the new rebirth of Radio X in the hands of Misters Crosby and Gamble.
Misters from another sisters.
It's Misters Crumble and Custard to you, actually.
I was going to say Messers, but then I sort of, I got a bit confused.
It's all right with Misters.
I'm in a bit of a tense tech scenario here at Isolation HQ. Just to bring Crosby and Gamble up to speed on what happened. So I'm currently broadcasting this through Alex Horn's wife's iPad, which is balanced on 5 books, £10 to charity if anyone can name any of the books, guys.
Ooh.
Well, I actually know what one of them is.
All right, we'll do that. We'll give some money to charity.
Okay. River Dance by Chaucer, not River Dance.
No, Elis, it was the Riverside Chaucer.
River Dance.
Anyway, so on Friday, I had I was giving a keynote speech at the weekly Radio 5 Live webinar, which sees 100 of the most important 5 Live bigwigs and names. Your Dennises, your Barnetts, your Fogartys, perhaps. And I also had to do a pre-recorded podcast with Elis.
Chris Moyles works on Radio X. Do you know Chris Moyles?
Everyone knows Chris Moyles.
Yeah. Much
Johnny
more famous.
Vaughan.
Johnny Vaughan. Oh.
A huge amount of respect for both of them as broadcasters and men. I then had to do a pub quiz for Ivo, and then this today. So there's an awful lot of streaming content coming up in my world. However, the fans on my MacBook had been getting a bit loud. And someone emailed into Elis and my show to say that you can actually fix this problem. And they gave a link to a website called iFixit. So it was about an hour before the BBC seminar. And I thought, do you know what? I'd ideally like my fans to be as quiet as possible for that because it's a big moment. So I Googled the video of how to clean the fans inside your MacBook, which is rated moderate difficulty by iFixit.com. And I thought, you know what? I could probably just give that a go now.
You're an Apple genius, aren't you, John?
Yeah, I'm an Apple genius.
Yeah.
Experienced.
You worked in the big
technician.
Regent Street store, didn't you, for a long time?
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got the toolbox that the Halifax give you for free when you take out a mortgage, and
the one all the Apple geniuses use.
Yeah. And I said to myself,
wait, can I just say, I've got a mortgage with the Halifax, and I didn't get no toolkit.
Yeah, they took one look at you and thought, this guy doesn't need a toolkit.
But did they give you a lifeboat or maybe a sort of a crow's nest?
Yeah, of course. Gave me all of that. Yeah, they gave me the rigging. Of course they did.
Yeah. So anyway, I put this down on my table and I said to myself out loud, John, what the hell are you doing? You've got 4 really important things coming up. You can't just quickly fix a MacBook using a Halifax branded toolkit.
Not if it's mod diff.
Not especially if it's mod diff. But then I thought, I'll just do it. So I took off the back of my Mac and I opened it up.
So straight away you thought, just do it, whip off the back of your Mac.
Yeah.
Right.
So I took it off and then I thought, oh, you need what's called I think it's called a spudger. It's like a little plastic tool used to ease up connections. I thought, I don't have a spudger. I could probably use a pen lid and a golf tee. So
that's what they recommend on iFixit.com, but unfortunately you couldn't look at the website because your laptop had the back off it.
So I get a pen lid and a golf tee.
You're running on instinct now.
Yeah, and I say out loud to myself, again, John, this is really not that you shouldn't be doing. You've got a pen lid and a golf tee. You should always use the right tool for the job. You're not experienced enough to do this. Just put the back on, screw it back in, and do the things you really need to do.
Yeah.
And I thought, fuck it, I'll just do it. So I put the golf tee on one side of the connector on the fan, and I put the pen lid on the other, and I just broke the whole thing immediately. And as I did it, I knew it was going to happen, and I just did it anyway. So then, in order to solve the problem I created for myself, it took 4.5 hours. We almost had to organise a courier bike to come from Salford to my house to bring a spare laptop. Just the amount of things. I then had to drive to an Apple repair shop. I dropped off my laptop. I still don't have it. I then had to arrange Alex Horn's wife's iPad, which she kindly lent me, but I had to take it back and then pick it up again today and then take it back again tonight.
The problem is, John,
tensions are high. It's the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
If you were with NatWest, you would have got a spudger.
Would have got a spudger. Anyway, how are you guys?
I'm good. I'd really love to know how you reacted for 2 minutes after you realised that you'd broken your Mac, though.
Well, the thing was, I knew I was going to break it.
Yeah, but you'd become thick again.
I kept saying that's the thickest thing you've ever done. That is the thickest thing. You are so thick. And you've now, you should have bought a new laptop months ago because this is 8 years old, but you didn't want to do that. You wanted to avoid the cost. You're now going to have to pay like 300 quid in repairs, 100 quid in buying all the different adapters from various places. So it's like cost me 400 quid. You're the stupidest man in the world.
I talked about your fan problem with a friend of mine. He suggested putting a book in your freezer and then putting your laptop on a cold book.
Yeah, but that is a classic Welsh solution to it. I just put something in the freezer and that'll be fine then.
Yeah, I've frozen a book, John.
The Welsh try and cure many different ills with frozen books.
Yeah. And also, we try and cure freckles with dew. Have you ever heard that?
What do you mean cure freckles? That's not a disease.
Well, it was considered a disease until an awfully recent time, actually.
In Aberystwyth, it's known as the mark of the witch.
Yeah. So if you suffer from the mark of the witch, you've got to get up early, get a bit of dew, rub it on there. Another traditional Welsh cure.
Ellis, you know what dew is? It's water.
Yeah. Don't shoot the messenger. But it's special morning water, isn't it? The cures freckles. My other favourite one.
Can we just? I want to talk about this freckles dew thing because has the fact that it's never ever worked stood in the way of people then continue to pass on this information.
Yeah,
it's
but when
great.
it does work, think how
No, but
exciting it's going to be.
We used toothpaste once. Me and my friend heard that if you rub toothpaste on your face,
to kill your
at night,
freckles.
it gets rid of your freckles, but it just gives you quite a burny face.
My other favourite one is to cure arthritis, just to hold a potato. That was used until like the 30s.
Just to hold anything's a good sign.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but you get a big Maris piper, just hold it.
And if it's a freckly potato, just rub it in some dew.
Yeah, and then throw it in the sea. Because you're always trying to cure freckles. That's the thing. That's what a lot of people don't realise. But thankfully, I've got quite a good internet connection, and I'm seeing all your faces very clear. I'm not seeing any freckles at all. So this is very, very positive as far as I'm concerned.
So also, can I just shock you?
Yeah.
What do you guys think I got delivered from Amazon today?
We know it's not a laptop.
Cannabis.
No.
It's not a spudger all too late, is it?
No.
Imagine if it was a late spudger.
Gamble.
Oh, is it an egg tree?
No, it's not. What's an egg tree?
Like a thing you put the eggs in to keep.
We've got one and it looks like monks. So if you
that's the classic. That's the classic.
If you put eggs in, it's the monk's bald head.
So John, can I just check something? Because you don't know what an egg tree is. When I said egg tree, what was your first thought as to what I meant?
Eggs on top of each other in the shape of a tree.
Oh, I thought you might have been thinking of a real tree that grows eggs. But you're a sensible guy. Let's leave it.
Well, I'm going to shock you because it's a bit of fun. I got delivered 8 different types of Alice band.
Why?
For my hair, because it's got out of control.
Oh my God.
Look how high my hair is.
I don't know if an Alice band is going to control that, mate.
How much?
Wait and see.
How much product have you got in there, John?
Very little. There's a bit of remnant from maybe 2 days ago.
When was the last time you washed the hair?
3 days ago.
So that's. Oh God, you look like Milan Baros.
John, you really look gross, mate. You're gonna have
great.
You look absolutely gross.
No, you look like you should have a sort of satin waistcoat with mirrors hanging off it.
Yes.
You should be shoeless. You should be dancing at the Stone Circle at Glastonbury. It's not.
You look like the sort of guy who still buys Louis C.K. specials.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I misheard that because I was about to say I do buy CKB the scent, but no, I don't buy Louis C.K. specials.
You look like someone who unwinds by having sex. Nothing else. No telly, no box sets, no reading, music. Just sex all the time.
So,
sex.
I've already run the Alice bands past my fiance, and I'm disappointed to say that you've sided with her.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
She's not keen on it. I think her words were no, 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 no.
Let's have a look at some of the others.
So I think, based on photos I've seen on the internet, this is the one that David Beckham wore in the late 90s. It's got like a little sort of sprongy bit.
Now,
I mean, the thing is, they all look the same.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And there's two things that are crucially different now, John. One, it was David Beckham, and two, it was the 90s. You in modern times. Oh, 2? Yeah, go for 2. Why not?
I can do 2.
The double, yeah.
Do I look twice as cool now?
You look like you should get twice the prison sentence for whatever you've done.
You look like you're about to be operated on. But a significant brain op.
I look good, man.
It's I think you've got no, whatever the opposite of body dysmorphia is, you've got it for hair. Because
and you know, when the guy wearing a captain's hat is giving you fashion advice, it's time to drop the Alice band.
Well, the captain's hat is my Alice band. I started wearing this because my hair was going in my eyes, and when I was changing little Jerry Cinnamon's nappy, my daughter's nappy, when I was eating, the hair was going in my mouth, so I just pushed it all back, stuck the captain's hat on, and now actually I've had my wife cut my hair for me, and I just like the hat now. Just wear it all the time.
Do you know, I think Alice bands are a bit like demons in his Dark Materials. Some people, you can't see their Alice band. Some people, it's internal. For Crosby, his Alice band is a captain's cap. For me, it's an actual Alice band.
Yeah.
For Ed, it's just his sense of self. And for Elis, it's due.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that Elis gets up every morning, gets a handful of dew and slicks his hair back?
Oh, I think he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He'd get a bit of grass and mud in there, but that would just sort of add to the effect.
Yeah,
I like it, guys. I can't stop looking at it.
Me neither. Not for that reason.
I think I look like Robbie Savage wants to look.
But can we get? I mean, I know you had Tan France on your show, which was very, very exciting. I've got to say,
yes, it was.
And you got incredibly camp. I don't know if you've watched the video back, but the second he appears on camera, you immediately the camp switch is flicked, and you get camp with him.
But the same thing happens when I'm watching Queer Eye. You just get sort of lost in that vibe of being just really open and really kind. And then as soon as he signed out of the chat, I was just like angry at Elis again.
You handled yourself better, may I say, than Elis did in the presence of Ian Rush. Because Elis, come on. The first thing you said was, I had your shin pads, which is honestly the most pathetic thing I've ever heard anyone say to another human being.
Yeah, I also didn't explain myself very well. I wanted to say I had Ian Rush branded Sondico shin pads, and that would have sounded
quite weird as well.
Yeah,
and that disturbed me very well.
I think he probably got what you meant, though. He didn't assume you'd nicked his shin pads at some stage.
Yeah, I was going to argue what you
with them.
I don't think that those shin pads were actually anything to do with him. I think I'm not sure if Ian Rush was getting any money for those shin pads.
Oh, so he'd have got a couple of quid if they had like a fake autograph on the front of the box.
They had a picture of him on the box. So I don't know what Ian Rush's kickback there on
he must
trial shin pads in 1989. I don't know. I'm not sure.
He must have been getting money, but he's not in the offices designing them. Because how much design can you really put into a shin pad anyway? It's just the pad that goes on the shin, right? I mean, I'm not a sports guy. Yeah,
and also 30 years on, I don't think having his own branded shin pads is the highlight of his career that he remembers. It's the winning European Cups and league titles and FA Cups. I think, if anything, I'm probably the first interviewer in his life to have brought up his shin pads, and especially as question number one. Quite a big opening gambit.
And it's also not a question. It's quite a hard one to come back from. I had your shin pads. I mean, what can you say apart from cheers, mates?
Yeah.
Also, he probably hates shin pads now because they actually block dew from getting to the shins. So he's got the most freckly shins, just covered in
shins. Is Rush.
He kept referring to me as L, like he was my friend. He did, yeah.
I've got a great screen grab of the conversation where we're all along in the gallery view of Zoom. It's just me, producer Dave, and Ian Rush, and then you're in the big speaker view, looking so much like you've taken 5 grams of coke.
Yeah,
and I cannot wait to share it with the public, but it's on the bloody MacBook, isn't it?
Oh God, the MacBook that you tried to fix yourself with a golf tee
and the pen lid.
Bloody pen lid.
Is everything like? Is the stuff on the Mac salvageable? Do you know if you snap those fans?
Oh, yeah, so
that doesn't make a difference, does it?
It still turns on, but it doesn't cool down. So if I had a Zoom call on it, it would just melt. That's the problem.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Even with a frozen book underneath it.
Who knows? Who knows the impact of a frozen book?
Have you tried putting a MacBook on some dew? Maybe doing all of your Zoom calls sort of before about 8:30 in the morning.
hold a potato, mind you.
What use would a freckleless MacBook be to anyone?
Yeah. Good point.
So because we started a bit late, and also because our opening chat has rumbled on really, really smoothly, I'd say, guys. I wonder if we should move to our first feature.
Yeah. Sure, I'm happy to do that.
Let's do it.
If I could just get confirmation from our producers in our ears that they are happy with the first sound cue of the day, because we're having sound cues today, folks. Okay, so if you'd So, Crosby and Gamble, you introduce it. It's your feature.
Well, obviously, you've been chatting away about Ian Rush, and at one point when you put the Alice band on, Elis said, "Oh, you look like a name."
Yes.
And Ed and I just sort of kind of nodded enough to not feel like we were being, disruptive to the show, but also we clearly didn't know who the hell you were talking about.
You smiled along like two thickos with freckles. If
Yes, exactly.
Very much, two potato boys.
In my head, as it always is, it was just translated to "you look like Tony Football." That's all.
Tony Football's a player. Roger Football's a manager. That's all we know.
So myself and Matthew on our show, we do a sports segment. We're trying to learn a little bit more about sports. It's called Sports Desk or Sport Time. We decided early on the jingle always says something different to what we call it. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna run you through some of the sports headlines. We've got a little jingle here. Jingle, please. Go!
What are you playing there, guys? Lacrosse?
Mega Sports.
Hat trick!
Can I join in? Fair enough. Double goal.
Don't kick it to him. He's the referee.
We're doing some new ones. It's extra content. The team I like is the best team.
He's running. He's running. He's running. He's won the run.
There's nothing better than points.
Pop that pigskin in the back of the onion bag.
Get that thing in there and we will win.
Oh, give him a point, umpire.
Got a couple more. The jingles run out, but
keep it.
Yeah. Put on your shorts and play well.
Deodora League.
Let's have a hug to celebrate that victory.
180. One. How's he done that?
I've run out, but tennis.
Garth Crooks. And again, we could go on from there. We've got all of the terms. We've looked them all up. But basically, this is Sports Desk with your resident experts, myself, Matthew Crosby, and Ed Gamble. We'll start, as we always do, with the headlines. Ed?
Bong.
Football. Liverpool could seal title at neutral venue. Now, this is a tricky one, this topic, because I don't know what any of those bits mean, but basically, I'm assuming that they're very, very close to achieving a title, which
I thought was Liverpool FC.
Well, it's
nice to know they're finally getting it nailed down. And
yes.
they're going, that's it now, Liverpool FC for the rest of our lives.
It's been ambiguous for too long, because it's been Liverpool FC, the boys in red.
Mr. Liverpool,
exactly, Tony Liverpool. The Anthem Rappers, there's been so many different names. Now they're officially going to go. We're calling ourselves Liverpool FC. The FC stands for Football Club, and
Liverpool's, I assume, is where they're based.
Yes, that's right.
They're
based
just easier at a neutral venue.
Absolutely. So presumably that would have to be somewhere other than Liverpool, probably Switzerland.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're going to Switzerland. Obviously, they have to do it once lockdown is finished, and then they're going to probably just get a big load of wax, like a kind of medieval style, big load of red wax, and seal the title. Liverpool FC. It's official forever.
Go boys. Bong.
Cricket. England asked 14 uncapped players to return to training. So we got a problem here, because in the hot weather, asking anybody to go out without some sort of headgear is you're on hiding to nothing, really, aren't you? At the very, very least, you're going to be standing in a hot shower the next day and going, why does my scalp hurt as much as it does? At the very worst, you're going to have flaky scalp because of sunburn.
Yeah. They've not mentioned the cream situation. Obviously, this is a headline, so they've slimmed it down. But if it was 14 uncapped, well-creamed players, then I'd be fine with it. But we could ask them to go uncapped. Also, it is better for CCTV. You can see who's coming into the ground if they're not wearing a hat. But good to know that the cricket boys are back at it again, whacking the balls around. Main story.
Main story. Now, the reason we picked this main story is because it comes from the world of golf, which is, of course, John's favourite sports. It's your favourite sport, sport of all time.
Certainly.
It's a great story. Golf. Woods and Manning beat Brady and Mickelson in 20 million charity match.
Wow.
So that seems like, I would say, that seems like too much to enter a charity match. I mean, I know they're rich, these golfers, some of them, but where are they getting that cash from? Especially in lockdown when a lot of the golf hasn't been playing, and so hard to know where they're getting that from.
It's too much. This is Tiger Woods, Matthew. I'm assuming you've heard of Tiger Woods.
I of course know Tiger Woods for both his antics on the golf course, which have been absolutely superb, and his antics off the golf course, which have been a little bit spicy.
And superb, I'm sure, as well.
Oh, I bet, it depends which angle you're standing. Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed them at the time. It sounds like he had a hell of a time, poor old Tiger. But yes.
But this is Peyton Manning. Who's that, John? Is he another golfist?
No. Now, I'm pretty sure we're heading into territory where I've got about as much knowledge as you. I think Peyton Manning is an American footballist.
Now, so we're getting double whammy sports-wise.
Because I had it here. It's Chelsea Manning, the whistleblower, but apparently not. No, okay, that's just I got some bad information there. That's my fault.
There's sort of a long, weird tradition in golf of events where a professional golfer plays with a celebrity, which doesn't really happen in any other sport. But the pro-am, the pro-amateur tournament, because I don't want to get too bogged down in the history of golf, but it is fascinating.
This is what we're here for. Absolutely.
But until sort of the 50s, really, amateurs were seen as the sort of the elite in golf, and the professionals weren't allowed into the golf clubs. So they'd have these tournaments where professionals would be playing amateurs. They would beat them. They would absolutely destroy them. And yet they were sort of had to get changed in the car park or get changed in little huts because it was like an old man's sort of club. So it's very much a clubbable thing. So Harry Varden, who got sent over as the sort of great British hope to win the American Open in the 20s, he wasn't allowed to be a member of the club he was representing. He was their professional who brought back the US Open and gave it to them to display in the club, and he wasn't actually allowed to walk into the club.
And he went on to run a load of fish and chip shops. Wow.
But it's the book I recommended to you, Elis, The Greatest Game Ever Played.
Well, why don't they do it in other sports? Because, I'd love it if, you're watching football and onto the pitch runs somebody who's just a bit famous, like Bradley Walsh. If you suddenly saw Bradders run in and he's playing up front for Chelsea, you think, well, this is an exciting game. It might get more people into football.
Well, they do that, don't they? They do charity games, because I know Russell Howard has played against like a Liverpool 11 and John
but
Bishop.
not during the league. That's what I think. What we want is during a key match. If you say Bradley Walsh or a Chuckle runs on, then you're in business. I think more people are going to be watching.
Man United are playing Man City. Man United are 1-0 down. They bring on Steve Penk, who is very,
but they might have done anyway. They might have done anyway. You never know with Penkster. You never know who he's going to be. He's a bit of a prankster.
I just think it would make, because the problem with a lot of sport, and I don't, I'm sure there are people watching this who are fans.
No offense.
Fans of sport. We always mean we mean no offense about any of this, but it's not interesting. So I think that's what we're trying to do here. Is we suggest a few more ideas for sort of, giving it a bit of vavavoom.
For instance, there was it follows Rory McIlroy's £4 million skins events. Now that sounds a bit more jazzy. If it's tops off golf, I'd be more into that.
It's either tops off golf or one of those skins parties where he put the event up on Facebook round at his parents' gaff. Didn't tell his parents he was having it. Everybody came round with golf clubs and had a great old time of it. And then his parents came back, and the tree outside their house has been toilet papered. It's absolute carnage. Again, it sounds more fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then I guess sport has a history of people trying to make it more interesting. So, for example, I would imagine snooker originally was just someone potting a white ball into a pocket again and again and again. Someone said, "What if there are other balls?" Then someone said, "What if the other balls are different colours?" Then someone said, "What if we assigned different values to the balls?"
And then someone said, "Put his glasses on upside down."
Someone said, "I preferred it. I preferred it when that snooker was putting the same white ball into a hole over and over again, and that's how golf was invented."
Yeah,
golf is boring. Snooker.
Yeah, it's the purists' snooker. It's the traditionalists' snooker.
They're both good.
I mean, it's you know what? That might be what it is that golf needs. Is if you get a bunch of balls, right, for the sport, and you've got to get every single colour in by the end of the game.
Yes,
not a bad idea.
Now, John, we've played crazy golf before, and you somehow made crazy golf not crazy anymore.
Funny you should mention the crazy golf, Ed. I'm just going to pop to one of my shelves of mementos.
I can't believe this counts as a memento. That says so much about your life.
Can't believe it's going to be on his awards shelf.
I think we got the scorecard from that round of crazy golf.
You got the scorecard from that round of crazy golf. We all went to the pub.
So, wow. So Ed, 64 shots, so that's 21 over.
Not bad. I had a whiskey flight and 2 beers. Carry on.
Lloyd, 53 shots, that's 10 over par.
Yeah, fair enough. He hadn't had his due that morning. Acaster had a good round, 49 shots, that's 6 over. Wow, that's a tough score to beat, 6 over. There's a fourth name on here. John, 39 shots. That's actually 4 under par.
Wow.
Just to put that into perspective, that would define me in crazy golf world as a scratch golfer playing off scratch. And I did ask the helpers at Shipwrecked Miniature Golf in New York.
The child's pirate golf.
The child's pirate golf. I did ask them what the course record was, and they confirmed that I had beaten the course record.
Yes, you were the oldest person to ever play child's pirate golf.
Yeah, so there you go. Just to confirm there. I have still, to my knowledge, they've yet to contact me, though I did leave my details at the course record at Shipwrecked Miniature Golf, nyc.com.
Can I just say I was there at the time, but as a man of the high seas, I don't think this idea of making pirates seem all fun and lovely is actually to be encouraged.
Do you want to see a photo of me when I was really little?
Of course we do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is Sports Desk.
Oh.
I'm sat on a little tree.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you've got good posture.
Thanks, man.
You've got good posture. That is one straight spine.
Yeah. Do you know what that boy needs?
What?
An Alice band. If only we could go back in time.
So anyway, we do need to wrap this section up. There was some fun when Brady gave a short speech. Brady, who joined Tampa Bay in March after 20 years.
Brady.
Karen Brady was there from The Apprentice, yeah. In fact, it can't be Karen Brady because it says bent down and split his trousers. So that doesn't sound like Karen Brady. There's no way that Alan and Claude let that sort of thing slide.
Karen Brady would never split his trousers.
No, absolutely not. Woods, 44, who last competed in February and then withdrew from a number of tournaments with a back injury, said he's healthy and ready to play when the tour resumes. Healthy and ready to play. The dirty bastard. Of course he is. Disgusting little grubby fellow. But a wonderful golfer, a wonderful sportsman.
This is Ocean Colour Scene. Sorry, I just got into a rhythm there. Carry on.
Can I just say, great feature. Love it.
Love it.
But if my 2 children grow up to have your attitude to sport, I will be fucking crushed.
These scenes.
But children rebel, Elis. You're pushing sports on them too hard.
I mean, okay, sure. As part of Betty's homeschooling, she's watching ESPN's 30 for 30. That's fine. She's watched The Last Dance on Netflix as part of her homeschooling. That's fine. But, I will allow rebellion in certain circumstances, but not on this one, I'm afraid.
What are you going to introduce sports more as they get older? Are you sort of drip feeding as you go along? Are you going to start taking them to games? And things like that?
Yeah. I'm trying to make it fun, I'm trying to make it like just a fun thing that everyone wants to be involved with, for God's sake. And if she doesn't take it seriously, then, I will give her room to grow for the next 18 months or so, and then we need to start taking it quite seriously.
What would be the worst sport that she could get into for you? If she came home and said, "Dad, I love this sport," what would upset you the most?
WWF.
World Wildlife Fund,
which I don't actually regard.
Hasn't been called that for 10 years.
WWE.
Can you imagine if they allowed WWE into the Olympics?
Oh my God!
I would watch the Olympics.
It would be fun.
It would be a laugh.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So next up on the Elis and John and Crosby and Gamble show, Ed, you've prepared a little bit of homework for old Elis James.
I have. I've given Elis something to prepare in advance, which you warned me was not necessarily a good idea, but we've done it anyway.
Yeah.
On our show, we do a section called Metal Education, where I educate Matthew Crosby about the world of heavy metal, etc. And I thought this would be a fun way of getting Elis into something that I enjoy. We've done Sports Desk. We've tried to embrace his world a little bit. So I've given Elis an album to review. It's one of my favourite albums of the last 5 years. Take that in, Elis. You've listened to it. It's one of my favourite albums of the last 5 years. It's by a band called Full of Hell. It's called Trumpeting Ecstasy. It's a fantastic album. It's only 23 minutes long, but boy, does it pack a lot into those 23 minutes. I believe if one of the producers can just let us know, I think we've got a clip of it just to play out. Fantastic. Okay, here's a clip of Full of Hell's Trumpeting Ecstasy for people out there listening. This is what Elis had to listen to. Play the clip.
Are we still having tech issues?
Lovely stuff. So that's the sort of general vibe. It sounds a lot like when you were having tech issues at the last show that you did before Ivo managed to work out his problems. So Elis, take it away.
Listened to it a couple of times.
Did you really?
I did. Like all great art, it poses more questions than it answers.
Can I ask, what were you doing, by the way, when you were listening to it? Did you have it on in the house, or were you out
I had it on. Well, I tried to listen to it when everyone else was up. I played it to the family. Izzy said, after about 5 seconds, and I wrote this down, if you continue to play this, I can't have a nice life. I then played it to Betty, and she was silent for a long time. And I said, what does that make you think about? What does it remind you of? And she said, it reminds me of the beach. And I'd love to know why. To know why.
Oh, dear. Oh, watch
Betty,
out. She might... Yeah, she's going to be a metalhead.
Into a metalhead.
Oh, God.
And she hates sports. She loves metal.
From the mouths of babes. Many...
My first impressions obviously came from the name of the band, Full of Hell, and my first impression was, what a shame. What a shame. Why are they called Full of Hell? I thought hell is the bad one.
But it's the fun one, right?
I don't know. I think if you're full of hell, you've had a bloody nightmare, is what I think.
Do you know who I think's got a nice band name, Elis?
Who?
Lovely, the band.
They're
not full of hell, are they?
No,
Lovely,
they're not.
The
They're not. For hell, you're for for the things you did on earth. You are sentenced to a lifetime of pain for all eternity. If you're full of hell, it's awful. They're also, I read the Apple Music description of it. They're regarded as a power violence band.
Yes, that is one of the subgenres that they occupy. So there's multiple genres. I'd say they're in the main grindcore. They're probably part of the grindcore scene.
Which I had heard of, and I'd heard of sludge. They're also regarded as a sludge metal band. But
they've got sludgy elements, but I would always describe it like slower, sort of riffier bands as sludge bands. Your I Hate Gods, your Crowbars, that sort of level. But just briefly, Elis, if I may, power violence is actually quite a small genre. I'd only really listened to Full of Hell / Weekend Nachos.
Well, that was it. So this made me laugh probably for half an hour. It said other artists
longer than the album.
Weekend Nachos. Yeah. Now I listened to Weekend Nachos, another power violence band.
Did you?
I did love their song, Jock Power Violence. Now it's your classic. But I don't know if Weekend Nachos, if they're a British band, if they're an American band.
They're American.
The only two words I could make out for the lyrics were "fucking prick." Well, I listened to a bit of Weekend Nachos, and I listened to Full of Hell. I didn't listen to any of their other records, but it was in terms of positives. I like the feedback at the end of Cosmic Vein. I do like a bit of feedback.
Is that back from the guitar or some constructive criticism?
No.
They all just to let everyone know, they stop playing at the end of Cosmic Vein. They go, right, how do you think everyone did?
Yeah. And a mid-album debrief. Yeah.
They read out a couple of tweets. You know, sure. the band have got an email address. I love that bit. Negatives. The song "Digital Prison" to me sounds a little bit like a Dan Brown novel. So
the title or the content.
Title, the content doesn't sound like anything that Dan Brown would endorse. I mean, the content of Digital Prison is a real assault on the senses. It's about 9 seconds long. Bit of levity.
Did it make you feel, though? Did it make you feel like, was it reflective of the digital prison we find ourselves in? When you heard those 9 seconds, did you think, that is exactly like open up your emails and it's 5 different emails from LinkedIn from people I can't remember. Yeah. We're stuck in this digital prison. How do I get out of it?
Yeah. I mean, there's that great bit in Digital Prison about 4 seconds in where the music stops, but he says, God, WhatsApp's just another form of texting, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's just another
one more thing I have to check before I can do any actual work.
Absolutely, exactly.
Has anyone heard of TikTok? What is TikTok?
You say that it's just, could you hear the layers in it? Because Full of Hell are quite lauded. They're very critically appreciated for being quite sort of forward-thinking and quite experimental.
Actually, Ed, initially, I wasn't sure about the album Trumpeting Ecstasy, and then I listened to it for a second time and I realised that actually it's the culmination of Full and Hell really coming into their own, exuding a confidence that comes along with refining their stylistic approach and honing their sound into something that is completely theirs.
He's just reading the cover from the back of the book.
Well, you can see it reflected in your glasses.
Yeah. Elis, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because you, over the past year, have got into sort of free jazz.
Yeah.
And you like the fact that sort of the chaos of it allows you to just sort of obliterate your brain when you drive to home base.
Yeah.
Did the metal have a similar effect?
I know what you mean. There's not an enormous amount of room in it. Genuinely. Although I did think that Full of Hell, they spend the majority of Trumpeting Ecstasy examining their usual tricks through an expanded prism. Their overall approach does remain the same, but what I loved so much about the album is that it takes a sweeping panorama of the abyss and then they compress it down to a single point and then they shade that until it breaks. I thought it was really, really...
I think, really interestingly, even though you're just reading from the cover and the back of the book...
Yeah.
That point about metal not having much room is a very, very well observed criticism of that type of metal, I think, even though
it's
you may have made it accidentally.
There's no room in grindcore. That's very much the point, I think.
And
I'd check out some sort of heavier, more experimental sludge bands. We're talking Sumac and sadly the now disbanded ISIS, not for that reason.
I think Elis would like Baroness.
Yes, you would like Baroness.
They're very good.
You played either you played or John played it because you played it to him, Clutch, on the Keep It sessions. And I did enjoy Clutch. And I listened to Ornette Coleman, which is an Albert Ayler, and it's pretty palate cleansing jazz, but there are gaps, and it allows you to take your breath a little bit. Whereas with
allows you to remember what you're trying to get from home base.
But Full of Hell put all their gaps at the end. That's why it's 22 minutes long.
Yeah, you can take as long a gap as you want.
Day.
Yeah.
Honestly, their gigs are over in 15 minutes. You can crack on.
Also, as a bit of levity, loved the fact that Full of Hell had released some albums or some recordings in 2016 on Bad Teeth Recordings. I thought, lovely name for a record label. Bad Teeth. It was quite interesting though, because I've never listened to music that heavy. I have listened to metal, the older stuff, but I'd never listened to something that is so uncompromising. And I've got a question for you. When are you in the mood for Full of Hell?
I've actually found recently, in sort of slightly tenser, more sort of struggling times, that horrible music is actually quite cleansing. So I find things like Full of Hell actually quite handy. I can listen to that and I can just vibe out to it. I think I can listen to it like jazz, like free jazz.
What does Charlie make of it?
Oh, Charlie hates that music.
Does she?
Yeah,
so you go listen to it on headphones or
listen to it on headphones or in my little room up there. Put it on vinyl. Lovely. You can really pick up the nuance of Full of Hell when it's on vinyl. Yeah.
Ed's got a room at the top of his house which is painted entirely black, and it's got goats wandering around, and it's just a metal room. Weirdly, it came with the house.
Yeah.
That was what swung
we'll
it for.
Take it.
Upside down cross, yes, please.
Is that a tethered priest?
Cheers. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ellis and John and Crosby and Gamble show. What are you drinking, Ellis?
Beer Moretti, and it is absolutely lovely because I like beer to taste normal, like beer. For God's sake, I don't want it to taste like pasty under caramel.
Okay.
Sorry, I've got a real bugbear about that. I guess my news.
Gamble, Crosby, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a bottle of red wine called 12 Volts, which I've had before. I bought it for the label because it's quite a cool label. But turns out I really like it. And I had an espresso martini before we even started. Cheers.
You did, didn't you? And Crosby.
And I'm also drinking a red wine. It's from the Wine Society, and I got given the Wine Society as a gift, like a membership to the Wine Society, and it's a nice gift because it means now I can buy wine. I was not able to do that.
So is that the first bottle of wine you've ever tasted?
No, I've never had wine before, and I tell you what, I think it's going to catch on.
Yeah. Is it like the Britannia Music Club, but for wine?
That's right. This bottle was a penny, and then every bottle after it is 400 quid. So it seems pretty good. And then every 2 or 3 weeks, they send me Stars by Simply Red.
Yeah.
Oh,
and also you get quite a lot of like double bottles of wine with just like sort of small glasses from different vineyards in, right?
That's what I call wine. Yeah.
Anyone under the age of 36 has turned off. They're like, what the
honestly,
that's
this? Such a good business idea, starting a wine company called Now That's What I Call Wine, with all different wines in one bottle.
Yeah an inch of each good wine.
An inch of each. Do you fancy an inch of Shiraz tonight? Well, God, why not? No,
I think that's the one near the top. Would just
actually, no, the next inch is Cab Sauv. You've got to have a Cab Sauv, I'm afraid.
Fantastic stuff. I'm drinking my favourite session beer, which is Camden Weeknight, which is 3%.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
God, I love an inch of that.
Will you be pumping up the percentages throughout the rest of the evening, John, or are you just sticking on 3%?
Well, I've got to get a cab to Alex Horn's house to drop off this iPad, so I don't want to be, because obviously I've not been in a cab for a couple of months. I don't want to be irresponsible in the cab, kind of embracing the driver, sort of touching too many areas.
Why do you have to deliver it back tonight?
Because
He's got a big wank planned.
It's needed.
He said his morning wank.
It's a very tawdry tone to take when this.
It's the second half.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come on.
Sorry.
It's
I've had a bit of
9:14.
wine sock, and I've had a bit of wine sock.
Yeah.
It's Alex Horn's wife's iPad, and she needs it for work, and she leaves for work at 4:30 a.m.
Ooh.
Too early. Yes. That's
Too early.
Yes, that's too early.
Yeah, 2 a.m. wank.
We are now we're doing textual healing now. So shall we have the jingle again, just so that we can sort of set the atmos before our caller joins? Do feel free to cue that up whenever you have the jingle that we played before the interval.
Textual.
There we go. We're delighted to say that joining us live from his lockdown location is John. Hello, John. Are you there?
Thank you, boys. Thank you, Elis. Thank you, Ed, Matthew, and John. Pleasure to be back. Has to be said. Yes, my name's John, spelt G, silent G, John, after my father, Jerry, silent G, G-J-E-R-R-Y, which caused a hell of a lot of problems when he said it's Jerry with a silent G. So they said, right, well, that's Erry, isn't it? And he went, no, it's silent G, J-E-R-R-Y. Fantastic man. May he rest in peace. Pleasure to be back, boys. I have missed you, John, and you, Elis. I would call your 5 Live show, but ever since the Nicky Campbell incident in 2006, I have been banned from calling any BBC station. I won't go into it, but let's just put it like this. I do not believe in recycling as much as that man does. And it's all written down. It's all written down.
So how's, before we get on to your particular problem, John, how's lockdown been treating you?
Well, lockdown. You know what? I'm sure I speak for millions here when you learn who your friends are. And I found out I don't have any friends. Bad. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I've started writing a novel. Again, copyright issues. I won't tell you what it's all about, but it involves, and it is the second half, 3 women, a bottle of rum, and a bloke who's got an arse the size of a 5-pence piece. I'm writing the movie script. I'm writing the pop-up book, of course. And it's absolutely going swimmingly. And may I recommend the 3.1% Colonel Table beer?
Oh, yes. I've had some of that during lockdown. It's very good.
Fantastic drop.
So what's your problem, John?
Well, funny you should ask. Right, well, this is just between us 5, the promoter, of course, in New York City, the producer, and the hundreds that have tuned in. Well, before lockdown, I was having an affair. Make no bones about it. Simple as that. We met as we both, at the same time, stormed out of a Spanish restaurant. She was at one end of the. Both. It was incredible. Both at exactly the same time. I held the door open for her. I said, "You look in a bad mood." She went, "You look even in a worse mood." I said, "Where? The service here is shite." And she went, "You know what? That's why I'm leaving as well. It's absolutely terrible. What's a few olives and a bit of bread?" Anyway, we went for a lovely walk, and we started having an affair. She's a married woman. I'll tell you that, boys. Anyway, because of the COVID-19 situation, she usually lets me through the back door, but she doesn't want me to touch any doorknobs with her hands. So the only way I'm allowed into her house is through the cat flap. Now, first time I did that, I thought I'd give it a go. stuck my head through. The husband pummeled me like he dizzied my head around the room like Giggs against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final 999. So I thought that's not going to work. I got myself delivered to the house. Unfortunately, the husband took the delivery, realised he hadn't ordered it. I ended up in Rochdale. Have you ever been to Rochdale, boys? Fantastic place. Absolutely spent a lovely day there, walking the lakes. A very important canal back in the Industrial Revolution. And I learnt the Sixth Doctor is from there. Fantastic. So anyway, my question to you, and I'm getting to the question, is, last Friday, I thought I've had enough of this. I need to get my end away. So I thought the only way of getting through the cat flap without anyone knows. Is it all these things on? I can't hear much laughter. Are these things on? That's the new tapping the mic, isn't it? Tapping the headphones. Haven't done an online gig yet, to be fair to me. Anyway, you remember George Galloway dressed up like a little kitty catty in Big Brother? And he purred his way through that utopian living room. Well, I was thinking of doing that, dressing up like a cat, and I did on Friday afternoon. I crawled my way through. But again, just because you dress like a cat doesn't mean you're the size of a cat. So the husband absolutely destroyed my neck, I must say, like Bergkamp when he span around that defender and smashed. Christ almighty. Anyway, my question is, what advice, boys, would you give me for a man who's having an affair with a woman who'll only let him through the cat?
Well, I have to say, before we address the specific question you've got, John, by having an affair during lockdown, you are breaking government guidance. So we just do need to point that out. That there's a bit of rule bending going on there, even in the attempts, I would say. So that's just a health and safety issue. I'm wondering, have you observed the house at all to know their movements? Is the husband leaving for shopping, essential goods, trips to beauty spots?
Yes, well, right. The husband, he is a mechanic, and he works in the garage next door. And I only know this because they've got a cat flap, they obviously love cats. Anyway, I was getting into the cat costume, and he spotted me, and he loves cats. Because I stood far away, I did look like the size of a cat, what with the older perception, me being further away looking smaller. So he started to run towards me because he thought I looked fantastic. He wanted to stroke me, touch me, do all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I ran away, but he kept chasing me. But I thought this is a fantastic way to get him away from the house so I can run back in and shag his wife. I do hate to put it like that. I do. I really do. I wish I didn't. I wish no one knew. But alas, don't go to... Anyway, so I ran miles. I thought, right, I'm going to lose him in the woods. He ran into the woods. I popped back out. Ran straight through the garage. Anyway, if you imagine I'm 13 stone, I'm 5'9" on a good day, and the problem is, dressed in the cat suit, what I do look like, and I have a small penis. There's no denying this. I wish I could tell you differently, boys, but it just ain't what it is in the movies. I run into the living room. Imagine a cat stood on its back legs with a tiny human penis and a human head of the person you make love with, who you met at a Spanish restaurant, coming out of its neck. The head is just dangling off the back of the back of my neck, you see. So she ain't too keen on that. 3 triplets running around. So that is mine. She runs a creche. during the day for bankers and key workers. So they're going insane. They've never seen a cat like this. I try my best. I try and calm them down. I just got to get on all fours. You know, I say, look, I'm just a normal cat, but the head's flapping away and it's disgusting. I put my cock away. I'm not that bad. But, you know, the human head, they're like looking at me. Anyway, the kids, they start to like me a little bit. 3 of them get on the back. I hear the husband coming in, and I'm like, I got to get out of here quick. So I just leg it. Little do I know, the kids are still on the back. I'm running down Ballymore Street. I've got 3 kids on the back of this cat's head. I've got my cock out. I run down to the tube. I get on the Northern Line. Where's my mask? Where's my mask? Are you kidding me, man? Anyway, I wrap the cat thing on. There's pest control. Pest control everywhere. There really is at these times. So, look, anyway. Long day. Tell you that, mate. It's been a long day. But I've tried that, John. I have tried. I've tried calling up and doing that across the phone. But I'm not into that at all. So, you know. Any more ideas, boys?
Have you tried the chimney? Is there a chimney that you could maybe get down the chimney rather than going through the cat flap?
Do you know what, Ed? You're on my wavelength, brother. I've always said this. You're on my wavelength. Well, right, yes. So, the cat thing weren't working, obviously. I'm not, put that away. Pack that away for another day. You want to what do you think of when you think of a chimney? You think of a boy covered in soot. You think of Father Christmas, and you think of a pigeon. That's all I'm thinking about, right? Now, Father Christmas on the hottest weekend of the year during lockdown. I don't think so. Suspicious, very suspicious. A little boy suited up. No, so a pigeon. A pigeon. Fantastic. Right. Now, I don't have a pigeon costume, but I do have a cat costume. So what I do is I make some wings. And I think, right, you know, a grey tabby cat, just make the wings. I'll just go up the chimney. Like you said, Ed. Fantastic. Now, I don't know the last time you went down a chimney, Ed, but they are, I'd say, smaller than a cat flap. I'll give them that. If you're measuring them, if you're measuring holes in your house, you've got the toilet U-bend, you've got the chimney, that's tiny, and the cat flap. Anyway, I thought I could at least shove my legs down there. So they live in a bungalow, so I managed to get my legs down there. And learning sign language with my feet, I dangled them in the fireplace, and I just signed to her, "Look, do you want to fancy a shag? Meet me round the back." Now, little did I know, she was looking after thousands of children this afternoon. And they couldn't believe what they were seeing. They said, you know, those feet, they were saying, why are their feet dangling there? She panicked when it's Father Christmas. He's come early because you've been so good during lockdown. Anyway, they started cheering, and she texted me going, "You got to sort this out, mate. It's no problem." So anyway, I said, "I'll be back in a minute." And I had to have presents with my feet down the chimney. I mean, I've spent thousands, you know, but she's worth it. She's fantastic, this girl. Wish you could meet her. She's absolutely beautiful. Brunette, fantastic sense of humour. And she's got a fantastic angle on Eastern European politics. She thinks the Ukraine is a fantastic... I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel a bit loose because it's not on the radio. But what happens is I realise my intelligence is very much within the radio sphere of what's allowed to be broadcast. If I'm allowed loose like this, I mention Ukraine and then I think, well, I don't know too much about that. Although I did go to school with a bloke from Ukraine. He had a spot there. He always laughed at everything I did. And he's richer than me. I'll give him that. He's a very wealthy man, this guy.
Well, John, thank you so much for calling in. We've not managed to solve your problem because.
But just lay it on me thick. Lay it on me thick.
It seems you've tried all of our options.
Don't puss around with me.
Well, I've got a
it.
option.
Stop it. Just
John,
tell me. Give it. Give it to me.
I've got a final option, John. What do you think about this? Cover of darkness is your friend. Your problem is you've been using daylight. All of your scenarios have been played out during the day.
Yeah.
What you need to do, John. No, what you need to do, John, is you need to go into the house through the cat flap or through any means under cover of dark, and then build some sort of thing that hides you within the house. Okay, just build yourself a little nookie hole in the middle of the house.
Nookie hole. I love it. I want it. I need it.
You need a nookie hole, mate. It's exactly what you need. So you build yourself a little nookie hole, and as soon as you see him and the kids all leaving, you've got that window of opportunity. Burst out the nookie hole, have your nookie, and then out the cat flap and back out again. Cover of darkness is your friend.
Cover of darkness, up the cat flap, nookie hole. Bye.
Oh, that's. I hope we've solved John's problem there.
Seems so.
And I don't think. I mean, John's in his own world. We're not ones to cast judgment, but anyone having an affair, think about the wider consequences, especially during this troubled time. We are now going to move on to another guest. Guys, don't know if you knew that, if you've been checking the WhatsApp group at all, but we're gonna move into another feature. But it's not a feature Elis and I do, and it's not a feature that Ed and Crosby do. So what kind of feature might it be? Okay, let's bring in our second guest to guide us through a Radio X favourite, but not from either of our mouths, hands, eyes, or ears, or noses.
Hello.
Here he is.
Hey.
It's old
going?
Joshy Widdicombe there, not from Radio X, but from a little
XFM
friend.
till I die, mate.
Little
Look at
friend
that.
of yours.
Oh, that takes me back.
That was a
It's
great
like
radio
Christina Ricci.
station, that was. Back in the day.
Yeah.
It was like pirate radio in those days. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was like the boat that rocked. You always had your feet up on the
It was
desk.
like that. It was
I think you'll
like
find it's more like the boat that rock now if you take one look at Matthew.
Oh, that's a fair point. And the BBC is just like a sort of flotilla of bigger publicly funded boats.
Yeah, which is cool
Josh.
in its own way, actually.
Yeah.
Josh, you've lit yourself like you're in a documentary where you've had a crime done against you and you don't want to be identified.
I've had a nightmare with my lighting, and I've realised, Rose, could you turn the light on? I've just asked Rose to turn the light on. She sat next to me on the sofa. I've only got one ear in as well because she was enjoying the show.
Well, that has lit your frame behind you absolutely
nothing.
perfectly, Josh.
Yeah. It looks
So
like
soon
you
as
just
turn
had
the light on.
It looks like you just had a great idea.
So
But
Josh,
slightly to the a right wing idea. It's just,
Josh's wife and my fiance are both very interior.
they're not the same. You made that
design-minded.
sound like it's the same woman. John.
Not the same woman. So
Yeah.
That is big news.
Rose and
Always break it
Coco
to me.
have very similar taste, very good eye for design. But I'm sorry that you're going to hear this, Rose, but a flaw they both share, and all great interior designers share, is a love of lamps and a hatred of main lights.
Yeah.
Mate,
Something about having 10 lamps, even if you turn them all on, the room is still too dark.
Can I just cut in to say that my fiance is very good at interior design as well. But can I just show you the lamps that she's set me up with? She's also now frantically moving out of the way. Just some
wow.
professional studio lights, mate.
Because they look like you're about to be asked to take your clothes off.
Yeah. My fiance cares about as much about interior design as I do, and that means that we've got curtains straight from the NHS.
It's why you look like you're always in a squat. Anyway,
Hey, have you
Josh,
still got an IKEA bed unbuilt?
Yes, we do. Yeah. But I mean, this is a long story, but it's flat pack, which means it's slightly easier to have in its current state, because otherwise I'd have to break up a divan, and that's a bollock. I'll go into this at another time, but yes.
Elis, the perspective that you have your microphone set up at, and the background, it looks like you're in a Channel 4 documentary about a man who's married a robot.
So, Josh, what feature are we going to take part in? What quiz are we going to do? Because we're starting the quiz element of this evening's fun.
For you. Okay, so we used to do a feature called Wiki Races, where we would go from, me and Ivo Graham would try and go from one Wikipedia page to another, specified by the producer, in as fewer moves as possible, as fewer clicking through the blue links to try to navigate from one to the other. And so I'm going to play that. To make it a bit more tense, I'm going to do it on time. So it's not on clicks of links, but to make the link clicks matter, each link click is that I'm going to add 5 seconds to your time at the end. So it's a combination of time and links clicked.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
Now, Josh, I seem to remember for a live version of this show, I had to play this. And I just to let people watching how bad I am at this game, let them know. I once ended up on the Wikipedia page for crime, just all crime.
So
we could start on that.
So we're going to do.
I've chosen some based on because I've been watching the show.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So they're things that have been referenced in the show that we're going to be navigating from to.
Great. Really good.
Okay.
So I think it should be cross show. It should be maybe me versus Ed and Crosby versus Ellis.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
fine.
4 goes that you're going to do.
What? No, we'll do that at the same time each.
Oh, okay, yeah. Same
Yeah,
route.
yeah.
So you both have a go at the same route.
At the same time.
I cannot wait to use the internet for the first time. Really,
So I've got
really
I've
looking
got my
forward to
phone
this.
ready. So do you want to?
Cool.
Should we do? Are you going to time it, Josh?
I can time it. 2 of you
Great.
going at the same time might get quite complicated, but we'll see how
Well,
it
no,
goes.
Well,
because
if we
start at the same
track of our
time,
links, yeah.
we'll just say
Okay.
I finished, and then we can count the links.
Okay. Yes, good call.
Okay, so we've got to keep track of our own links.
But then we can also click back if we need to.
Yeah, you can just go back
Yeah.
through your browser.
Okay.
I know it's your first
Okay,
time
so-
using the internet, Alice. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Who are
this.
the first 2 up? Who are the first 2 up?
I'll go versus Gamble.
Oh,
Okay,
here we
Gamble
go.
versus Robbins.
Where are we starting, Josh?
You are starting on the Wikipedia page for weekend nachos. I checked, and they do have a Wikipedia page.
I
Good
know that you
band.
mate. I check it every day.
Good
And-
band.
As fans of WWE,
Yeah.
I've chosen Hulk Hogan because he's the most famous WWE person.
Oh,
Okay.
You
very
just go from
good.
weekend nachos to Hulk Hogan. Ready, steady, go.
Okay, and are we commentating as we go along?
I suppose
I
you
guess
have to,
not,
yes.
because
Yeah.
Oh.
So what are you on, Ed?
I've gone to hardcore punk, and now I'm on San Francisco. I've gone too broad too early.
What do you know about Hulk Hogan?
Oh, that's a good point. I know he was recently embroiled in a racist scandal. I'm on to.
Was he? I didn't know that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put him forward. I do apologise.
I've gone on to entertainment and recreation in San Francisco.
Just
I'm
in
now
San
on-
Francisco.
Yeah, just in San Francisco. Sports in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I'm at now.
John's looking a bit tense. John, where have you got to?
I am the Egyptian Theatre in Illinois, where the band are from. I'm hoping that the theatre have put on WWE at some point.
I'm now
Are
on
you-
to Levi's Stadium, and I'm hoping that that there's been some sort of WWE system in there. Yes, okay. I'm on WrestleMania.
I'm absolutely.
How did you do that?
I'm
I'm in
it
hauntings.
happened. WrestleMania happened at
God.
Levi's. What the hell? I clicked on WrestleMania, but now I'm on a different. That's not WrestleMania 31. Okay, brilliant. WrestleMania. Now I'm on WrestleMania.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
it's gonna be, surely there'll be a Hulk Hogan link
History.
on WrestleMania. What are you on, John?
1980s. I'm on night. Oh yes, Hulk Hogan. Yes,
1
I'm on
minute
it.
30. 1 minute 30.
Me.
How have you
That's
managed-
good.
Thank you
How
so
have you
much.
managed that?
I mean, that
Take-
was exceptional wiki racing from me.
John, do you want to
Take
play
us
out
through your
your,
links.
I will. Do we want John to try and complete, or shall I take you through the links?
Oh, I'll just tell you where I got to. So I went weekend nachos. I went DeKalb, Illinois. I then went to Egyptian Theatre. I then went to list of reportedly haunted locations in the United States. maybe Hogan's got a ghost.
Do you know what? I would enjoy reading that. Though.
Wait, you say maybe Hogan's got a ghost? You do know you know what a ghost is, right?
Yeah, but you might have a ghost sidekick, Hogan and the Ghost. You never know.
A ghost sidekick. I apologise.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then I went to the Birdcage Theatre again, hoping that WrestleMania had been there. But when you see the Birdcage Theatre, you're going to realise that WrestleMania definitely wasn't there.
The Birdcage Theatre sounds like a cabaret venue.
Yeah, so that was superb. But I would never have beaten Gamble there. That was phenomenal.
I mean, I'm
Stunning
impressed.
stuff.
So I started on weekend nachos. I then clicked on the if you look at their genres. The second one listed as hardcore punk. Then went to hardcore punk, and in the cultural origins is San Francisco. I clicked on San Francisco. Then in the subgenres to San Francisco, I clicked on entertainment and recreation. Then I went to sports in the San Francisco Bay Area, clicked on that. Then I clicked on Levi's Stadium, which is the 49ers stadium. I then, in other events, number 11, the second one down is WrestleMania 31. I was very lucky there.
Oh.
I clicked on that, and then it took me to the WrestleMania 31 bit.
Absolutely.
And I clicked on WrestleMania as a general thing. And then clicked on the 1980s, sorry. And in the 1980s section, there is a picture of Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, and there's a hyperlink to Hulk
Absolutely superb stuff.
I tell you what, Ed, you say you were lucky, but with wiki races, we know the harder you practice, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
For years. I've been ready for this for years, mate.
So now it's Elis versus Crosby. Elis, can you win back some pride for Team Ellis and John?
I'll try my best.
Good luck, Elis.
I mean, I've already preemptively clicked on the British hydrogen bomb program. But
Don't tell me it's going to be due to freckles. It's going to be very easy.
Ian Rush.
Ian Rush. Okay.
Okay. And I want you to get to miniature golf.
Okay.
Ready, steady, go.
Right. Okay.
What are you on, Ellis?
I've gone to.
You must have read this page before, anyway.
Oh yeah, of course. I wrote the page. Okay.
Immediately clicked on shin pads.
Yeah.
Are you just enjoying Ian Rush's Wikipedia page?
I know. I think I've gone too broad because I'm currently on the Wikipedia page for Chester. It's not really helping me out. Chester Racecourse, Chester Rugby Club. Oh my God.
No commentary from Crosby.
I am on the page for Association Football.
Oh yeah. Just learning a lot about it.
This, you know what? I feel so dumb for saying it's not interesting. It's absolutely fascinating. There's a photo here of the attacking player attempting to kick the ball beyond the opposing team's goalkeeper. That's how you win a point. So I'm on that so far. I'm really hoping for just the word ball. That's what I'm just looking. Which
I am crazily close.
But
I don't think I'm on the Wikipedia page category golf stubs. But I don't think I can get to crazy golf from...
It's miniature golf.
Miniature golf?
Yes. Ed had finished now, by the way. Crosby, how you doing?
I'm on now team sports, which is obviously the one to be on. You know, I don't want to be on team at all.
How has it taken you 4 minutes to get from association football to team sport?
because once you get into that page, it really sucks you in. It's a real rabbit hole. No, I'm doing.
They do play. You know, the Ryder Cup might get mentioned or something like that. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of that.
I'm hoping they mention golf of any kind. Here we go.
How are you doing?
I'm on the wiki page for indoor golf.
Oh,
I am skirting around the issue.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh my God! I've got an open goal, and I don't think I'm going to be able to score. This is driving me insane.
You might have to broaden it out to golf.
Yeah.
Oh, but I started off on broad golf.
Well, so you've gone from golf to indoor golf?
Surely miniature golf.
Link from golf, you nitwit.
Got to be a link from golf, fellas.
I'd be on
Crosby, how you
Rowdy
doing?
Roddy Piper by this point.
Hang on.
Crosby, how you doing?
I'm on the Coca-Cola company, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'm this close to defaulting. I was just hoping maybe they sponsored some miniature golf at some stage, but it's not looking like that's not going to be top of the page, is it?
If that had come off, that would be one of the all-time great wiki race links.
That would have been like it would have been like finding the secret door to Narnia, basically, wouldn't it? That was
You've taken so long to do this that sex addict Robbins has come back.
Captain Incel.
What are you on, Ellis?
Play of the game of golf.
You are?
It's a paragraph on the page for golf brackets general, and it's just how to play the game of golf, and I am agonizingly close.
Just go to other formats or see also.
Are you hoping that one of the ways to play the game of golf is in a very small way?
That page, other formats of play, variations of golf.
Come on. There's got to.
You're not going to believe this. I'm on the page for Caddyshack now. So that's a golf movie.
Yeah, you're
so
doing well,
I'm getting dangerously.
We can get there before Ellis.
Dangerously close now. I would.
Come on. There's got to be
surely that
golf on the
Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, Tin Cup, miniature golf.
Surely the game, the word golf has got to be on.
Incredibly,
caddy.
What was it? Did you say miniature golf? Because I'm on the page variations of golf, and I'm not seeing miniature golf.
I'm not.
I'm seeing
I'm
stroke play, match play, Stableford, par and bogey, foursomes, four-ball, best ball, scramble, Patson. Nassau skins, nines, bingo, bango, bongo. How can they have bingo, bango, bongo and not miniature?
So those are ways of playing regular golf.
Yeah, exactly.
Formats of golf.
Because crazy golf's not on that list, is it?
I'm on the page. I'm on the page for golf.
You're both on the page for golf.
But I'm
Ellis was on that page 18 minutes ago.
Right, and I know this is.
I'm not going to lie. The
it's a
clock
blind
has
alley.
ticked over 5 minutes. We've been playing this game 5 minutes now.
Have we? I'm having a good time.
I'm going to check the tweets.
Golf-based games, miniature golf.
Hey!
5 minutes 10.
Wow, was that really 5 minutes 10?
You know what? It flew by.
It absolutely flew by.
But when you're learning about association football, the time just disappears. It melts away like butter.
I thought I'd check the tweets to see what the sort of general public reaction was to that. We've not had any tweets for 14 minutes, so I don't think there's anyone watching.
Maybe we've broken the internet.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Experiences I've ever been involved in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Josh.
Thanks for making us.
Thanks for having me. I've stayed longer than expected when Ed finished. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I will see you soon.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Josh.
Bye, Rose.
Okay, what a lot of fun that was.
So much fun.
Loved it.
Tense.
To play Wiki Races one more time for old time's sake. But now it's time for a game of Winner Plays On. This is the game. Yeah, play it. This is where we answer 5 questions each on our specialist topics. It's going to be me versus Elis, then Ed versus Crosby, and the winner of each plays in the super final. So my specialist topic is Queen. Elis.
Super furry animals.
Crosby.
The 90s rock band Pavement.
And Gamble.
Limp Bizkit.
And if I get through to the final, my specialist topic is Queens.
My
Elis,
specialist.
what's yours?
Super furry animals.
Crosby, what's yours?
My specialist subject is pavements.
And Campbell.
Biscuits.
There we go. So it's a little bit of fun. As I wrote the questions for both Crosby and Gamble on pavements and biscuits, what was most devastating about it was not that the first round of questions got lost by my MacBook, so I had to re-research biscuits and pavements, but was that I knew all the time I was doing it, I was only ever going to need one of them. So I knew that all my research into one of those topics of biscuits or pavements was in vain.
Weirdly, I think I know more about biscuits than I do about Limp Bizkit.
I know more about Limp Bizkit now than I really want to, and I have to say that Fred Durst sounds like an absolute douchebag.
Yeah.
Well, if that's a question, no.
Yeah,
he's
you've
not.
given an answer away.
Oh. So I think I'll take on Elis first.
How do you want to do it? Do you want to go first?
Ask me first, and then Elis can do his 5, and the winner then plays the winner of you and Crosby.
Okay, Crosby, how do you want to ask the questions? Do you want to do them alternately? The questions about Queen.
Let's do them alternately. Why not? Why don't you start off?
Okay.
And
No.
I'm not allowed to access any of my reference books,
No, absolutely not.
including not just 2 copies of Queen in Cornwall, 2 different editions of Queen in Cornwall.
Oh, whoa.
Now, this is what worries me, because I feel like either these questions are going to be too easy, or the facts are going to be wrong, and you're going to get angry. So let's
Either's
just
fine.
Either's fine. Okay.
He says that now.
I think this is an easy one to kick off with. What was the name of Freddie Mercury's first band that he founded age 13? Oh.
Well,
I've given you an extra fact there, so you know what band I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The first band he was in that he founded, age 13. I thought this would be an easy one, but it turns out it's going to be one that's going to make
Well,
you
he
angry.
had a lot of bands before he joined Queen. I don't know what they were called, so I'm
think
just going to
it's-
write them down. I think it was The Something.
Very broad
That's-
guess.
So I'm going to go. I'm going to go for Sour Milk Sea.
No, it's the Hectics. Is
The
what
Hectics.
What I
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The other names I wrote down were Wreckage and Ibex.
So no right answers.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know what the
I would have kept those
first
to
one
myself
was.
if I were you.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's quite a hard question. But
Just
it's
say
fine.
the other thing I wrote down was the Hectics.
Yeah. We're not checking. Freddie Mercury designed the Queen logo, but where did he get his degree in art and graphic design? Where did he get his degree in art and graphic design?
Ealing.
Is correct.
Well done. That's one. Well done.
Got some points on the board.
In Life is Real, the line "guilt stains on my pillow" was changed twice after advice from Peter Freestone. What were the other 2 versions?
That's the deepest Queen question I've ever been asked. And I've met Peter Freestone. I met him in Leicester Square, and he thought I was sort of looking to hook up.
Well, he gave some advice to suggest that whatever was suggested before "guilt stains on my pillow" was changed. There's two other versions, and I'll let you know. It's obviously what's causing the stains has been changed.
Yeah. I'm going to say, well, do you need the specific word or the specific thing that causes the stain?
Yeah, I mean, those are the words. I mean, what?
I'm going to
Tell me
say
your answers.
jizz and cum.
Now, unfortunately, you've given the same answer with 2 different words. So,
Oh, I see. I'm going to go cum,
yeah.
and I'm going to go shit.
Shit. What a shame to say those words on the Sabbath.
blood will come.
Blood, shit,
Bear in mind,
and
I know it's still before 10 p.m., but the answer is cum stains, correct? And my fiance's just guessed that. She's very happy with that. And unfortunately, the other one, John, your beloved Queen, cunt stains on my pillow. Now, I'd imagine that was suggested first, then cum, and then Freestone chipped them down to guilt.
So can I have half a point?
Yeah, of course. You got
Yeah, you can have half a point for cum, sure.
Thank you.
Released on the 19th of May 2013 in response to the proposed UK Badger cull, Save the Badger 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 is credited to Brian May and which other artist? I'll accept he goes by both his own name and a moniker. I'll accept either.
I can see John trying not to get as angry as he would do on the show with just Elis because there's guests here.
my anger is sort of countered by the fact that I love how insane these questions are, and it's a lot of fun. I have read that name and that person, but I honestly can't remember it. Is it Badger? Is this Monica Badger?
It's not Bodger.
No.
I don't know.
It's Weeble, aka John T. Picking.
Okay.
You have to remember, whenever John gets angry at me on the show, in scenarios like this, the real focus of his anger is himself.
It's not all anger at ourselves.
Yeah,
or other people, actually. That does make sense.
Yeah, it's self-loathing more than anger.
John, you got one more question. You got 1.5. You got
thanks,
John. One more question. You've got 1.5 so far out of 4 on your beloved Queen. Okay. On the Kenny Everett show, Freddie Mercury appeared as himself in a Sid Snot sketch. But what is the name of the fictional tournament Freddie was said to be competing in?
Oh dear. A Hitchcock zoom just went off in John's mind there.
I know the scene. So he turns up in a black leather jacket. He drinks a can. He smashes the can. He throws it on the ground. He jumps on Kenny Everett falls over.
Well, use that. You've got all the information there. You've got all of the pieces of the puzzle.
Except for the one piece I need.
Use what is he demonstrating? He's a competitor in a tournament. What tournament might he be competing in if that's what he's doing, John?
I think it's an outrageousness tournament.
I don't.
I mean,
a rock and roll tournament.
I'm gonna look. We'll give you the answer.
Yeah,
give him the answer, Cros.
So the answer is the British Eurovision Violence Contest.
Yeah, I didn't get close to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1.5.
Wow.
1.5 for John. Okay.
Okay. If Elis are like who's in Super Furry Animals, I'll be. Because those are.
We made those too hard, didn't we? We made those.
But they're superb questions. But I feel a terrifying sense of shame.
Well, you shouldn't. Okay. No one should know any of those things.
Oh,
It'd be mad. If you got 5 out of 5, it would be mad. We'd think less of you.
Yes.
If you immediately went cum stains and cunt stains, we wouldn't think you were a good guy.
I read all those facts, but amazingly, even if I were allowed access to my reference books, I don't think it would have the answers to those questions.
The odd thing is, though, that whenever John is embarrassed in front of new people to try and fill a silence, he'll just say cunt stains and cum stains. It's just they're the words he'll say. Cunt stains.
Okay, so are you versus Elis or versus Matthew?
Yeah, so it's Elis's go now. He's got to beat 1.5.
Okay. Alternate again, Matthew. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first this time. Why not?
Okay, go for it.
Elis, Super Furry Animals, the Welsh band. What did the band dress as for the duration of the Phantom Power tour?
Yetis.
Is correct.
Correct. Oh, see, I don't know what's hard and what's
easy
we
made these
when it comes to Queen. And okay, Elis. What is the name of the earliest Super Furry Animals track that was commercially available?
Well, the first EP was Llanfair Pwllgwyn Gellgo Garchwyn
Track
on to Silio Go Go Go. Dim Bris Dim Chwys from Trysgydacophilia.
That's close enough to what I have written down.
Okay.
That's 2 straight away.
That's 2.
That's the win.
That's 2. He's done it. We'll ask the other questions just for just for the fun of it. The single "Man Don't Give a Fuck" features a sample from which Steely Dan song?
Oh, Showbiz Kids.
Ah, fantastic.
3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
Someone really loves this band.
Or someone knows what's in the songs, not what was nearly in the songs. So there's a slight difference there, isn't there?
Yeah, well, also, Elis doesn't just swan around saying, oh, I'm the biggest fan of this band.
Well, he doesn't swan around saying, I know what was nearly the lyric. He knows what the lyric is and what the name of the song is. Those are
Come on, it's basic stuff, mate.
Basic stuff.
You could have deduced that. That British Eurovision violence contest, you could have worked that out.
Yeah, could have worked it out from my mind.
On the back cover of Fuzzy Logic, the band are photographed in front of a painted advertising slogan. What does it say?
It's brains you want.
Correct. Well done.
It's on the album. It's not what
I live
they
near
think.
that bridge. It's the Brains
Four out-
Bridge in
four
What
out
else
of
do they
four.
think about putting on the album?
In fairness, there's less facts available about super furry animals than there are Queen.
Right, we'll just change the Queen facts then if you've got so many to choose from, but fine, carry on.
All right.
I can't believe my career. I
Band?
can't believe that this has become my career. Competing in a quiz against someone who hates to lose to such an extent.
Do you ever think for a second I dreamed that my career would be getting Queen facts wrong? Do you ever think for a second, when I was at DT in 1996 and I made a Queen wind vane, right? Did you ever think that I would one day be showing that Queen wind vane that doesn't work because the wind goes through the holes? I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you ever think
that was
I
on the
would
top of
one
your
day
house, on top of the chimney.
be showing that whilst getting Queen facts wrong?
No, I didn't. For a kickoff, you'd say, "What's a podcast? What's a Zoom conversation?"
Also,
So carry on. You're doing very well. You got
Sorry,
four
if you-
questions.
What's
if you're a real
pandemic?
fan, you would have made the Hectics wind vane. So
I was too busy, Ed, making my Freddie Mercury bookend.
You know
well,
what?
if you'd been making cum and cunt bookends, you would have done better in this quiz.
That's
been gorgeous.
enough. That's enough cursing.
Okay, we've got one final question. But you know what, Ed? Let's give John an extra point for the wonderful woodwork.
Yes, there's,
Yeah, yeah.
there's another point
So
for the wonderful woodwork.
You've got 2.5
2.5.
points. 2.5 points. Well done. 50%. Okay.
Matthew, you asked this last question.
So, the furries took a decommissioned tank fitted with a sound system to Glastonbury in the mid-90s. According to an interview with the band in 2015, who has that tank now?
Oh, is it Don Henley of the Eagles? Because
It is
he's
Don
a tank
Henley of the
collector.
Eagles. That's 5 out of 5. Well done. Yeah,
Yeah.
he collects those kind of tanks, and in fact, he didn't buy it off the Super Fairies. They sold it to a guy who sold it to Don Henley. But
Oh, right. Okay.
he has a tank now. But yes, absolutely correct. 5 out of 5. You must love
Great.
Super Fairy
I
animals.
do. Good
Although,
band.
Yeah,
although
great.
Ellis, I think it's a bit of a cursed win because I've seen your next set of questions on super furry animals, and you're in
Great.
fucking trouble, mate.
Okay. Well, there was a great moment on the Radio X show where John claimed that a fox is a kind of cat. So, as long as I don't say that, I'll take it.
I'm going to quickly
John
rewrite one of
just
the questions.
picked up his Limp Bizkit questions with more vigor and aggression than I've ever seen a man pick up questions before. Bear in mind, John, the band mean nothing to me, and I panicked when I was asked for a topic. Let's do
Okay,
it.
that's fine. So we're going to now ask. So Ellis wins. That's fine. He goes through to the final. It's now Crosby versus Gamble. Ellis, do you want to ask your questions first, or shall I?
Well, I wrote questions for Matthew on the band Pavement.
No, you didn't. I did. I was making a joke. I've done them all.
Oh, okay. That's all right then. Sorry. I thought because I like Pavement. Good joke. You ask your questions. Great. I bet your
I cannot
questions are better.
believe
Ellis, have you
Can't
written
believe-
questions that
I'm
you're
gonna-
not
the
going to use
first
now?
time ever you've done prep that is unnecessary.
Fine. I'll ask the questions to myself in a month's time.
Do you know what? When this is over, do you want to we can have a chat on the phone?
I'll
and
text them to you.
we'll-
Yeah, I actually think they're too easy in retrospect. This time.
Okay, who's going first, Crosby or Gamble?
Well, seeing as we talked about pavement, I'll go first. Why not?
Well, why don't we toss a coin?
Okay.
We can toss the official Queen medal.
What's
So
I think now by rights you have to get that back, John.
Who's awarded that? The Queen Medal. How do you get one
me,
of those?
or we can just toss as a commemorative Queen coin there. Which would you rather toss?
I don't mind. Which one do you prefer?
Do you want signatures or do you want Freddie? So Crosby, signatures or Freddie?
Have you not got a come versus cunt one? Is that not?
Well, let's not curse too much. Family show.
Come on,
sorry.
you're not on the BBC anymore. Let loose a little bit. Pull your trousers down.
Fannies.
Oh God. Signatures or Freddie, Cros?
I'll go Freddie.
It is Freddie. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first. Why not?
Okay, so 5 questions on pavement.
Sure.
Pretty
In
sure that's
nine-
what we agreed before the.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But it
in
was a
1980
fun journey. Yeah.
In 1989, Malkmus and Nastanovic also formed another cool band with David Berman. What was it called?
The Silver Jews.
Correct. Question 2. Before their 2010 reunion, where did Pavement play their last ever gig?
Ooh. I'm going to go for the 40 Watt in Atlanta.
No, it's the Brixton Academy.
Ah.
Question 3. Pavement's last ever single was also their highest charting in the UK. What was it called?
Shady Lane.
It was Carrot Road.
Of course it was
John
Carrot
is
Road.
asking these questions like he's interrogating someone about a murder.
Okay. The damage has been done. I am not having fun anymore. Is the opening
Okay,
line
all
to
right, but
which
what's the next
Pavement-
question?
It's the opening line to which Pavement song? I can sing it for you if you like.
Is it Starlings in the Slipstream?
It's And Don't Cry.
Oh, it's And Don't Cry. Dear, that...
That's a band you claim to like.
I do like that.
Name either of Pavement's live albums in full.
Ooh. No, I can only think of Slow Century, which is the live DVD. Yeah, that's the only one I could think of. Sorry, man.
You could have had live Euro Paternum MCMXCVII, or you could have had live Euro Paternum MCMXCVII2.
Didn't know
That
those.
was the trick hard question.
Yeah. Well, they were all quite hard questions.
Lyrics to a song.
Well, look, John, you can't be angry at me now. Okay, listen.
I'll be angry forever.
Ellis said, "Do you want to do Pavement? You like them?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll do Pavement." And it was,
Do you want to do Ellis's questions?
I'll do Ellis's questions as well. Sure, yeah.
My questions are too easy, I think.
Oh, well, let's find out.
When was Slanted and
Hang on,
Enchanted?
what are we saying points wise for this?
No, let's call it one. Let's call it 1 point. You've got to call it 1 point. Those are the questions, but just for the fun of it, because
Okay, just for the fun of it, when was Slanted and Enchanted released?
91.
1992. Name Scott Cannonberg, aka Scott Spiral Stairs, the guitarist's side project.
The Preston School of Industry.
Yes, who I've seen live and got
Yes.
mentioned in a review once. Who produced Terror Twilight?
Mitch Easter.
Nigel Godrich.
Shit.
Who does Stephen Malcolmus mock in the lyrics to Range Life?
It's the Stone Temple Pilots and the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes, correct. And which Pavement album is the only one to contain a lyric sheet?
I think I know. Slanted Enchanted contains a partial lyric sheet, but I think it is Terror Twilight.
It's Brighten the Corners.
Shit! Sorry.
It's still good
Yep.
questions. Good fun. That was fun. I
think this is what whoever invented the internet knew it was going to be for, was a late night quiz to a man in a sailor's hat about the band Pavement. And let me tell you, if that's the depth of the questions that I'm about to get on Limp Bizkit, this is going to be a disaster, because all I know is that his hat is red.
Well, so
His hat is red. His name is Fred. That's all you know.
And that's helpful.
Crosby, you got 2 of Ellis's and 1 of mine, so we can give you an average of 1.5, which puts you
I
in a
think
similar
that's fair.
standing with me. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll take 1.5. Sure.
Ed,
Hello.
question 1 on Limp Bizkit. On which label was debut album $3 Bill Y'all released?
Interscope?
I'll give you half a point. It was on Flip Records, which is a subsidiary
of Interscope. Well, Interscope's the label, but yeah, carry on.
In what year were Limp Bizkit formed?
1994.
Correct. The song Hot Dog features the most uses of the F word in any Limp Bizkit song. How many times does the F word appear?
26?
Oh, no. 46.
Too much. I turn off after 26.
In 2001, Limp Bizkit parted ways with guitarist Wes Borland, announcing a search for, quote, the illest guitar player known to man. What was the nationwide audition called?
Oh. I don't know. Let's find a really good guitarist to replace Wes 2010.
It was called Put Your Guitar Where Your Mouth Is. which I'm guessing was the first suggestion they made after thinking about it for half a second. Okay, final question. And you're drawing with Matthew now 1.5 points. Limp Bizkit's sixth studio album has yet to be released, despite having singles in it released in 2012. What is it called?
Stampede of the Disco Elephants.
Correct. That's 2.5 points to Ed, who goes through to the final
done,
with Elis. So, okay. Is it Crest or Band to see who goes through into the final?
Queens for Queen Band, please.
Band for Elis. Sorry, its protective cover makes it hard to toss. It's Crest. Ed, do you want to go first or second?
I will go first, please.
Okay, so I can't believe I researched 5 questions on pavements twice, never to use them. Ed, you've got 5 questions on Bizkits coming up now. A question that has plagued Biscuit fans for a long time. Which came first, the Garibaldi or the Bourbon?
The Garibaldi.
It was the Garibaldi, invented in 1861.
Named after an Italian man.
Oh, it turns out he knows a lot about biscuits, whereas the Bourbon, as everyone knows, lagging behind in 1910. Question 2. Jonathan Carr, the inventor of the Garibaldi, founded biscuit heavyweight company Carr's. At one time, it was the biggest manufacturer of biscuits in Britain. But where was their factory based? Their first factory founded, I should say.
Birmingham.
It was Carlisle, but good guess. You went to an industrial powerhouse.
Close.
Question 3. Under UK law, biscuits are exempt from VAT unless they are fully or partially covered by what?
Chocolate.
Correct, because it technically makes them a fancy good.
It's the Jaffa Cake quandary. Carry on.
No, it's actually a separate quandary to the Jaffa
John,
Cake.
don't be boring. Come on.
Question 4. The old French word bescuit is derived from the Latin words bis and coctus. What does biscuit mean?
Say. Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. The old French word bescuit, which biscuit comes from, is derived from the Latin words bis and coctus. What does biscuit mean?
It's something cooked.
Ooh.
Is it half cooked?
It's half a point. It's twice cooked.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Question 5, multiple choice. In 2011, Prince William chose a groom's cake for his wedding reception. How many rich tea biscuits did it contain? A, 900. B, 1,700. C, 2 billion.
To be fair, they're all too many rich tea biscuits, aren't they? Every single option is.
Of course.
I'm going to go with B.
And you'd be absolutely correct. It was 1,700 rich tea biscuits and 11 kilograms of chocolate.
Too much.
So that's 3.5 points. You've outdone Limp Bizkit on biscuits.
Not bad for a diabetic.
Not bad for a diabebo.
Okay, I'm now going to ask the questions of Elis. Now, these are questions about animals that are incredibly furry. Super furry animals.
All right then, okay.
So, question number 1. What is widely said to be the furriest animal in the world?
Extinct or currently living?
Currently living.
I'm going to give that to you because we don't normally allow follow-up questions.
Is it an Afghan hound?
I'm afraid it's not. It's the sea otter.
Okay. I thought I was thinking about a woolly mammoth, you see, but never mind. It's fine.
It's the sea otter.
Yeah,
that's the only answer. So, the Pomeranian is a very furry dog. But name the type of Pomeranian that is so small, it is named after the type of crockery it can fit inside.
Is it an egg? Is it an egg cut Pomeranian?
I think I know this.
Would you like to steal?
Is it a teacup Pomeranian?
It's a teacup Pomeranian. Now, admittedly, a tea
Whoa.
cup is much bigger than an egg cup, but an egg cup is way too small.
Imagine
Yeah,
a dog
yeah.
the size of an egg cup, Elis.
Imagine a dog the size of an egg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would be crushed immediately.
Yeah. But it would be fantastic at crafts. Can you imagine that? They'd have to zoom right in.
There is an
Put them
egg,
all on little tables.
there's an egg tree Pomeranian, but that's not what we were asking.
On the big jumbotron. Look at the size of that dog. Okay.
So, question number 3. Name 2 of the 5 uses of fur for animals as listed on Wikipedia. So fur has 5 uses. What are they?
This is for the animals, by the way, and not for humans.
We're not talking about flaying someone for their pelt. We're talking about
Right. Okay.
what purpose does it serve for the animals themselves?
Warmth. Keeping animals warm. I mean, fur surely
That
keeps
is
animals
that.
warm.
Yep, I guess yes. I guess that's there. Yeah.
Doesn't it sort of? I mean, I haven't watched many nature documentaries for a long time. Doesn't it kind of make otters waterproof?
Yep, waterproofing that's 2 of them. Yeah. So we have thermoregulation and waterproofing. There you go. That's 2 of the answers.
God, I'm absolutely delighted.
Okay, so that's 1 point.
Okay.
You could also have had a protection, sensory, and camouflage.
Right.
So, on average, how many hairs would you find per square inch on a cat's back?
Oh,
Cat's back per square.
A square inch.
Now I've got to tell you, Elis, when we were preparing these questions, this is one that Matty wrote, and I said that's too hard. You're going to have to give him within a certain amount. And Matthew said, and I quote, "Nah, fuck it."
I'd love to know what you think it might be.
Per square inch on a cat's back, how many hairs?
How many hairs?
4,500.
It's 60,000.
60,000.
60,000 hairs per square inch on a cat's
no wonder
back.
they're so soft and nice when you stroke them.
Exactly. You could say they're super furry. They're super furry.
Crikey.
Yeah, bearing in mind 4,500. This is questions about super furry animals, Elis.
Yes, yeah. Good point. 60.
It's quite furry.
Hairs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
a square inch on a normal cat, a domestic cat.
Oh no, sorry, we were asking about a mad cat.
Okay. And the final question, which is not for the game.
Another one of Crosby's.
Yep. 4 breeds of Angora rabbit are currently recognized by ARBA, the American Rabbit Breeders Association. Giant Angora, Silk Angora, and which are the 2?
Albino. Red-eyed. And small.
I'm afraid it's just English and French. That's all. English and French. So you got 1 point there.
Quite pleased, actually.
It's pretty good, though. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
It's not bad, man. But congratulations to Ed.
Ed, congratulations. You're the winner.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've just realised if you reverse an Alice band, it's the same as giving yourself a haircut.
That weirdly does look better, yeah.
Yeah. So that's congratulations to Ed there for winning that. And Elis, I believe you're going to introduce the next feature and final feature, which is from our show. But just talk about what it is and build up a bit of tension when I get back from doing a wee, which I really, really, really need to do.
Yes.
Oh, are we doing? Elis, keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, should we leave Elis on the stream by himself while we have a wee?
All right. I would love to shut the door because
do that, and then come back. Although
I tell you what, should we have a 30-second break?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's have a little break. All right.
Great.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Hello, we're back.
Blast, said Poggis. We shot too late. We should have let fly the moment he poked his head out. He won't be poking it out again in a hurry, Bunce said.
Elis to Phil, and here he is. How many times have you read that book out loud, Elis?
40 times.
It's a classic. It really is.
Bean pulled a flask from his pocket and took a swig of cider. Then he said it'll take 3 days at least before he gets hungry enough to come out again. I'm not sitting around here waiting for that. Let's dig him out. If you want to know how that ends, it's available from puffinbooks.com and all good bookshops. Fantastic.
Shout out to Puffin. Right, we're all back from our ways. It's time for the final feature, I guess.
Can I just tell you this very quickly before that break, the sole purpose of that break for me was to shut the door, because I'm sat in a room that's right next to the bedroom that my wife and my tiny daughter, little Jerry Cinnamon, are sleeping. So I thought I'll shut the door because they can hear me speaking here. So I want to make it quiet. So I walked to the door, and in walking to the door in the darkness, managed to kick a toolkit down a flight of stairs. So I should have just left the door open, carried on talking. They were probably fast asleep.
Oh, you've not broken your spudger, have you?
My spudger is absolutely fucked, mate. Don't you? Yeah. There's. Oh, anyway, let's crack on with the final thing, which is me versus John, pavements and Queens of England.
The final game we're going to play is my favourite game that we've ever played on our show, which is called Beta Bet. And in Beta Bet, you have 30 seconds to name as many things in alphabetical order on a certain topic. So, for example, if it was fruit, apple, banana, cherry, damson, I could go on.
Yeah. I can't and couldn't. That was proven over sort of 18 months or however long we did that feature for.
It's Crosby versus Gamble on a topic I know they both are very sort of clued up on. And I'm going to ask Ed to go first. So could we have the tense music, please?
Does Crosby have to ring off?
No, he has to take out his headphones. He has to take out his headphones. Okay, so Ed, you can start the tense music now. Actually, Crosby, put them back in. Crosby, you can put them in because it's not going to be a problem actually, the way that I've structured this round.
Okay.
So as the tense music plays and I am about to start the timer, when I give you the topic, I'll start the timer. You've got 30 seconds in alphabetical order to name as many metal bands as you can. Time starts now.
Anal Nathrak. Oh no. Beelzebub, I guess. Chelsea Grin. Oh no, this is so hard, this game.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
It's really not nice because I know loads about metal. F. I'm on F now.
No, you're not. You're on D.
No, but I can skip letters, can't I?
Time's up, I'm afraid.
What?
You got 3 with 1 as a guess. I'm going to give you Beelzebub. Because
I thought you were going to pick like football or something that I didn't know about, and it panicked me that it was something I should be good at.
I am so pleased, Ed, that you clearly have my brain disease.
Oh mate, no, they in Taskmaster they made me do something with animals, but they didn't show it like that.
That didn't make the press.
No, it wasn't. That game basically, but listing animals in alphabetical order, and I said big dog. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it either. It's horrible.
Okay, so that's 3 to beat Roz. Okay. Now, obviously, this sort of plays to Ed's strength, so there's a slight tweak for when you do it. What I want you to do is that you've got 30 seconds to name as many metal bands as you can, but none of them can exist. They have to be fictional metal bands.
Okay.
You have 30 seconds, starting with A, to name as many metal bands that don't exist. You'll have a point removed for any that do exist. Time starts now.
All the nuns are dead. Burn the fetus. Christ fucker. Death. That's good, isn't it? Everyone is cancerous. Fuckers. God hater 2000. Hellmouth knobbers. I jizz evil. Jesus can go F himself. K Beelzebub. Give me the next letter. Help me out here. L. Lucifer's brethren. My oh my, I love Satan.
The time's
No
well up.
children
I'm
left
happy
alive.
for you to do
keep
well.
going. Unfortunately, I believe Matthew is disqualified because I've just looked it up, and Christfucker are a band already. Yes, they have 52 likes on Facebook, but they are unfortunately a band. Christfucker. There's a phone number on there as well if you want to book them for anything.
Do you know what? Full disclosure, I should know that because I'm the bassist.
Yeah. The basis, I'm the manager, and you use any opportunity you can get.
Got to get the brand out there.
To try and play Christfucker.
Well, he loses a point for Beelzebub, but Christfucker. But he's still won there with enough points. I thought there's some fantastic band names in there. Crosby, it was very well done. You actually scored within the time. You actually scored 6. Healthily beating
really good.
Ed's
really
3.
good.
So well done, guys. Well, it's about time to wrap up, a little bit later than we planned, but we do hope you've enjoyed some of the extra content this evening. I would like to thank everyone for joining in. And I'd just also like to say that we've had contact with the domestic violence charities for whom this is raising some money for, and they are absolutely blown away by the money we've raised, and it's making a real difference. Just for example, because I think it's good to know where the money goes, they've been able to buy a laptop, they've been able to extend someone's contract to work by 4 months. From the money we've raised, and that is making a huge difference to an awful lot of people who really need the money in this time. If you'd like to donate further money, you can go to standingtogether.org.uk or go to the Welsh Women's Aid website, where you can give as much as you like, and no amount is too small, suffice to say.
Just to clear everything up, the laptop's not going to John.
Yeah, I did want to say that.
Just so you know, the laptop is going to a worthy cause, not some idiot who decided to do it with a pen lid and a golf tee.
No. And further money from this will be going to them as well. So it's just fantastic. So thank you also to Tom from Show and Tell, and for everyone who's helped put this show together. Apologies for the slight website error at the start, but it's been a dream, and I hope that even when lockdown finishes, we can maybe continue to do this sort of thing on some kind of basis, because it's really great fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah,
I'm off to
and it's
drive
so
them.
much easier for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah,
let's just stay in our houses.
Nice spare rooms.
It's so much easier for everyone apart from my wife and child.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Only because you're kicking tools down the stairs like a nutter.
I'm a Christfucker. What can I say?
I'm off to get a cab to Chesham. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.